out there, and I can see this on the horizon. But, I think what I might do today is break the rules of time travel. But as Captain Barbosa said about the Pirate's Code, well, you know, Miss Turner, the Pirate's Code is not so much rules, but guidelines. And in that respect, I'm going to talk about something really important today. And it has to do with some of the questions I've had regarding people that have tested themselves after dry fasting. And one of the things they find is low ferritin. Low ferritin, not from iron deficiency, low ferritin from iron overload. So let me explain. As it turns out, your mitochondria, that's the hundreds of them in each of your 34 trillion cells, require copper and iron to operate the last step, to shuttle electrons back and forth along the electron transport chain to produce ATP, which is your life force to a great degree. And when copper gets low, it can't balance the iron, and the iron clumps up in these proteins called ferritin. But the iron is captured inside a cell, so they're what Morley Robbins calls cellular storage lockers of iron. And when that happens, it's not in the bloodstream. If it's not in the bloodstream, you do blood tests, it's not seen. So therein lies the rub. Am I iron deficient or am I iron overload? The quick way to do it is to just check your eyelid. Pull your eyelid down. If it's white, pink, like very, very light colored, you're probably iron deficient. Maybe. But what you might want to do is take some copper. Beef liver's the best. Beef liver puts it back in as quick as possible, and it gives you the ability to balance your iron. Why is this important? Well, look at this chart. Back in 2025, this year, researchers found that there are specific age-related metabolic changes in the human being. One at 44, one at 60. Significant metabolic changes. That's fine. So look at this chart. Here are those ages mapped out. Now look at this chart. This is your iron loading over your lifetime. You can't avoid it. And there's no way to metabolically control it. But what it does is it accumulates over time, especially when you stop growing at 25, 30 years old. At that point, it starts accumulating and building up. It's just, diluting into a large growing body until it's adult size. Then it starts concentrating. As it starts concentrating about 10, 15 years later, then you start seeing menopause and andropause. And then when you get back to about 60, you're in the metabolic disease phase, you're falling down, there's absolutely no cures and no help, and no matter what you do, it's not going to change the course of the war, so to speak. So what do? Well, you take copper. Copper balances that. Copper keeps your ferritin levels regular in the bloodstream because it's not locking it up in the cells. And here's the bigger issue here. Why do we age? There's a correlation between metabolic changes and increase in iron. Is it the iron? Iron Fe2 and Fe3 are extremely oxidative, and when they build up in the cells, they start tearing up the inside of the cells, which accumulatively tears up an organ, for instance. The only way to combat this is blood donation. 250 milligrams per pint. You accumulate 365 milligrams per year because every day you're making brand new red blood cells to replace the ones that have worn out. And it's a process where it draws on iron to make blood. If you give blood, you'll end up depleting that iron, which is fine. The thing is, with copper, because it's so essential, you have to eat a really good source of it. It's really deficient in our food supply. Most people are incredibly deficient in copper. Beef liver's the best. I cook it up with onions, maybe throw an egg in there and chop it all up real fine and eat it up, and that gives me tons of copper. Once a week, a little 1-inch cube, a 1/2 inch thick. That's all you need. You can overdo it with copper, and it'll give you the same symptoms as copper deficiency. So it's all a balancing act. Everything is in the body. But it's one of the biggest factors affecting aging, because every day when you make those red blood cells, okay, you accumulate 1 microgram per day. That's 30,000 micrograms in 80 years. That's a 300-gram lump of iron inside your body. So blood donation is one way to do it. We think maybe in dry fasting, at the end of the fast, the orangish goo that comes out at the end, this stuff, may contain some iron. We're not sure. Same color as bile and all that stuff, so it could just be your liver cleaning itself out, and that's what we're seeing. Even though oxidation iron is orangish in color. Point is, you gotta have your copper. You live longer, you'll be healthier, you won't have all these metabolic problems. My feeling is, and I'm testing it out in my book, A Philosophy of Time Travel, because this is where this is all coming from, is yeah, dry fasting is great. Yeah, Neogenesis is great, working out to maintain your muscle and bone mass, that's great. But if there's a phantom in the hedgerow, all that can only do so much unless the irritant is taken out. So, what's my theory? Well, my theory is a oxidative increase in a naturally occurring ion gets to the point where your genetic capability to deal with it is overloaded. The damage occurs so rapidly and so uniformly throughout the entire body. That's why you age uniformly throughout the entire body. And that this is affecting your ability to repair itself to the point where you can't be repaired at night. It's too much damage. And it's not stopping during the night, it's 24 hours a day. So if you want to stop aging, you got to control the iron. That's my outrageous hypothesis in my book. It's not so far-fetched. Anyway, that's kind of it for the day. I wanted to get into something kind of important. Dry fasting is important, working out is important, controlling what you eat is important, and making sure you have critical minerals that control this other thing is important. But the other cool thing is, here's my advice. If you're a woman, not quite yet into menopause, you don't even need to bother with blood donation. You're giving blood. That's why you live 10 years, 15 years longer than men. But at 35 and 40, you better start donating blood to control your iron status, your labile iron load, because that's what we're talking about here. We have a wonderful body. It lasts for 80 years. Refrigeration and microscopes have helped extend that from 40 to 80. But what is our potential? That's what my quest is. It's of course health. It's of course living a longer, healthier, younger type life, younger metabolism. What if donating the blood gets rid of the irritant, which gets rid of the damage, which stops the damage, which gives your body time to repair itself, and you end up youthening? You know, there's a very interesting philosophy in the book. I suggest getting it, A Philosophy of Time Travel. It's a compilation of all the pillars in the tent, so to speak, all the tent poles you need to like really extend life. Because I've always wondered, do we die in the bud? We're young, we're vibrant, we start getting illnesses, we get wealth, we finally have enough wealth to enjoy ourselves like when we were a kid, but we're no longer a kid. Then it's wheelchairs and old age homes and convalescent care. That is not the way to live. So I'm breaking the rules of time travel today to tell you a little bit about time travel so that you can consider this book and read about what your body can do and what it can't do and what you think you can do and how to do it. It's probably the first owner's manual for the human body. And I wrote it for you. Anyway, have a great day. I'm going to kind of enjoy this one. Like I said, it's kind of weird overcast, high clouds, probably a lot of rain this weekend. But if I can make it back to the beach and do another walk here, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll be staying inside the house writing. Anyway, I love you guys. Please subscribe. If this is the first time to my channel, look below and watch the videos on dry fasting, the stuff we know about health and longevity, and read the comments from the viewers. It's very encouraging, and I'm very proud of this work, and very, very proud of you all for trying it, getting healthy, and reducing the possibility of dying from bad habits. Anyway, I love you guys. Subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment. I usually try to answer all of them. And one of these days I'll throw in a Republic service announcement. It's my anti-commercials. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.